So what do you expect me to say?
Let's get him!
I know you feel this way.
What's up, Internet? My name is BlackLightAttack, and today I'm playing something a little bit different called Jamestown. This game was on the Humble Indie Bundle, and I am quite enjoying it. I'm a really big fan of these top-down shoot-'em-up games. They call them shmups for short. Anything with a ship flying, camera top-down, other ships being blown up by me, I enjoy it. Raiden 2 in the arcade was my shit growing up. There was an awesome laser tag place not too far from where I live that always had Raiden 2 for the longest time, and that was like my favorite game ever. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. You guys can just enjoy this for the background. Today I wanted to talk about what it's like living with a sleeping disorder. Right now it's 9 a.m. for me, and I still have not gone to sleep. And normally that would be late for me, but it's I mean, it's still late for me, but it's I've got some weird things going on right now because I had to work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on New Year's Day, and I also didn't want to miss out on the New Year's Eve festivities, so I just didn't sleep. So that kind of threw me off. But so you guys might know already, and you may have heard me say in the past that I have a sleeping disorder, and basically I go to bed at a weird schedule. I wake up around 2 o'clock, go to work at 3, work 3 to 11, come home, and then stay awake and do my daily activities outside of work, whatever they may be for that day, from about 11 until, or like 11:30 when I get home, until about 7 a.m. And then 7 a.m. is when I go to sleep. I sleep 7 to 2 and repeat, rinse and repeat every day. It's my weekly routine. And a lot of people don't understand why that's a big deal, why that constitutes a sleeping disorder. Don't I just prefer to be awake at night? And the answer is no. That's just the way I am. And a lot of people don't really understand it. I tried to explain it on my Pokemon video, and it seemed a lot of people got it. Actually, one person was able to specifically name the disorder that I have, and that was awesome. But there are just as many people, probably more, who will leave a comment. Somebody left a comment like, that's not a sleeping disorder, bro. That's just called being younger than 18. First of all, I'm 23. Second of all, I've been diagnosed with this. This isn't just, a lot of people say that to me. My manager says that to me all the time. You don't have a sleeping disorder. My son is the same exact way. You're just a young adult. That's the way everybody is. I was like this since I was an infant, and I'll probably be like this until the day I die. And what I have is called a circadian rhythm disorder, which means basically that my biological clock is offset. Whereas normally people might naturally have their bodies telling them to go to bed at about 11 o'clock. And that's natural, that's not if you're training yourself and keeping on a strict sleeping schedule. But if you're normal, then your body might say go to bed at 11 o'clock, wake up about 8. That's normal for them. But for me, it's this whole 7 to 2 thing. And that is a diagnosed thing. I've seen a sleep specialist about this. I've tried everything in the book. I've tried every sleeping pill in the book. I've tried melatonin supplements. Melatonin is the chemical that basically tells your brain time to go to bed. So I've tried melatonin supplements. I've tried Sonata, which didn't really work for me. I've tried Ambien, which gave me hallucinations, and really just felt like a drugged sleep. And a couple other brands that I can't really remember. There's something called Lightbox therapy that I have not bothered with trying. But basically I found that my favorite solution is just let my body do what it wants to do, and in the meantime I will try to build my life around that, which is what I've done. And people might not really get why that's such a bad thing. Now, for me, my sleeping disorder is relatively minor. It's called delayed sleep phase syndrome. It's exactly what I described. But some people who have insomnia, where they cannot sleep, that is way worse. I work with a guy who has insomnia, and it's horrible on a person. And what's even worse is to watch somebody try to tell them that it's not that big a deal just because it's something that they haven't experienced. It's very difficult for somebody who hasn't experienced a sleeping disorder to understand what it's like having one. Somebody who has insomnia, I've seen people, I've had friends who have had insomnia, and people tell them, well, why don't you just try to go to bed? Oh, it's easy. I do it all the time. Yeah, sometimes I have trouble sleeping. What I do is I meditate or I jerk off. They're not just having trouble going to sleep. They have a medical problem. People don't seem to understand that. And that's probably the most frustrating thing about having a sleeping disorder to me, because I've learned to deal with it. The most frustrating thing to me is when people don't understand it. And especially because it's such a limiting thing, and it's somebody who doesn't have that problem trying to act like they understand what it's like. And it's just this whole big... It's like when your hot friend tries to give you dating advice. They're like, oh yeah, it's easy. You just got to put yourself out there and be confident. Bitch, you're sexy as hell. You've never had a problem getting a date in your life. Shut the fuck up. It's kind of the same thing. You can understand how that would be really annoying. It's so like, what does my sleeping disorder entail? Well, basically, aside from it being, obviously I want to go to sleep at 7 to 2. What is it like trying to remedy that? Well, if I'm completely unmedicated and I'm trying to live a normal lifestyle where, say, I have to be up at like 7 a.m., I would say that in order to be up at 7 a.m. and have a decent amount of sleep, I would want to go to bed at least 11 p.m. Obviously, that's kind of difficult for me to do, like, for one night, to just go to bed early. I always have a hard time falling asleep. I have no problem staying asleep. I have a hard time going to sleep. If the problem is that I need to be in bed at 11 o'clock, I can maybe do that for one night without too much of a problem. It might screw up my sleeping schedule that I've got going on, but I can do it. The problem is when I get set on a schedule, because eventually my body reverts to the way it wants to go. Eventually I just cannot sleep. Sooner or later, probably about a week into trying to fit to that schedule, I will be completely unable to sleep and end up oversleeping the next day. Because like I said, I have no problem staying asleep, and I'm a person who needs a lot of sleep. They say something like males 18 to 22 or something like that need the most sleep out of any group of people for some reason. Not to mention, I don't know why. I did all of high school on like 2 hours of sleep, and then I slept in class. I don't know why, but ever since, I can't do that. I can't wake up in just 2 hours. It's really weird. I just completely lost my ability to pull all-nighters. Because or to go without sleep. Once I fall asleep, I just can't wake up. I deafen myself. I wake up and my ears are actually hurting from my alarm, and it still didn't wake me up, which is weird. I don't know what's up with that. But if I try to go to bed at a normal time, I will eventually revert back to that schedule. That's just the way I fall. And if I try to stay on a normal schedule, I will oversleep, and that really cuts off a lot of job opportunities for me. I said a while ago that I had a job at Wawa, which is a convenience store that's located in the Northeast U.S., and I overslept once because they kept putting me on the morning shift, and my manager was like, what can we do to fix this? I was like, what can you fix a sleeping disorder, buddy? And basically my point is I can't do certain jobs. I'm not eligible for certain jobs, which is why my job is kind of awesome, because it allows me to keep this weird schedule. But at the same time, it kind of shoehorns me into things I don't really want to be doing. So if you guys have any similar experiences, if any of you have sleeping disorders or you know someone who does and you want to chime in, feel free to let me know, especially if you're somebody who has to deal with the constant annoyance of people not understanding what it's like, or if you think you might have a sleeping disorder, or if you have any questions about the commentary, about the gameplay. If you have no idea what was going on in the game, feel free to ask and I'll clarify in the comment section, because I didn't explain the game at all. Alright guys, my name is BlackLightAttack. Take it easy.